Are you gay?
No.
Do you actually want to be a dude?
No, but I don't really feel like a girl either.
Ever since the start of Next Class, Yael has been by far my favorite character. They always seem to be able to see through all the high school BS and just completely ignore it. They always seem very logical about their actions and wasn't one to get caught up in all that drama stuff that a lot of other characters get into. Although they did participate in cyberbullying Maya and then afterwards reporting Saad to the police, but nobody's perfect. After season 4, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that this season ruined Yael. Specifically, they ruined Yael by turning them from not that kind of girl to not a girl at all, which I disagree with. Yael fighting against stereotypes for girls has always been a part of her journey to becoming who they really are, which is none of the above. They've always had a thing against labels. When they and Hunter got together, they despised how suddenly them being in a relationship meant that they weren't best friends anymore and that they couldn't hang out like they used to. Or even they couldn't hang out like they used to with Baz and VJ in the same room. And when it came to makeup, it felt to Yael that either they participated in wearing makeup and basically, in their eyes, wasting their time, or else they're not being a girl in some way and they're somehow being rebellious. They felt a lot of pressure to be a typical girl and participate in typical girl things, and their anger from that made them feel like those who did participate in the gender stereotypes were ruining it for everyone else who didn't want to. And after the makeup storyline, Yael realized that they weren't that kind of girl who wore makeup and spent a lot of time on their looks. But they didn't realize at the time that not feeling like everyone else went a lot deeper than just not wanting to participate in beauty standards. It wasn't until season 4 where Yael realized that they didn't want to be a girl at all. And that's not something you arrive on immediately. It took a lot of self-reflection and realizing that there are other options than just being a boy or a girl for Yael to realize that that's where they belonged. Before it seemed that either you are what your sex organs say you are, or you're transgender. But Yael didn't feel like a boy either. Really, the best microcosm for this whole development can be seen in the Boobs and Castle storyline. Yael was having legitimate issues with not having the right sized bra, and when they finally did get a fitted bra, they felt a lot better than they had before because now it seemed like a weight was literally lifted off their shoulders, and now their silly anatomy wasn't preventing them from doing the things they liked. But when people started regarding them differently because of their now more pronounced figure, it underlined just how simply having a fitting bra wasn't going to help Yael feel better. Their issue wasn't that their boobs kept bouncing about, it's that they had boobs at all. They don't want their body to dictate their life, and that includes being seen as a boy or a girl depending on what sex organs they have. Discovering binders helped them to be closer to who they truly were. And as a side note, the fitted bra not helping Yael with all their grievances doesn't diminish how awesome of a storyline the whole thing was. If you haven't experienced yourself, it's hard to understand how the right size bra can literally change your life. Lola was not making that up or over-exaggerating. It's true, a lot of girls don't have properly sized bras, and that can lead to a lot of physical issues. Go rewatch the episode, they explain some of those issues. Another thing I want to also point out is they didn't become the cool genderqueer person. Their style of dress really didn't change except for taking the wig off. The reason why the physical transition was so quick was because Lola didn't have to change a whole lot. All she had to do was style Yael's hair in a way that they liked and that made them feel like themselves, and that was about it. Plus getting some different clothes, but the clothes that Lola brought weren't very different from what Yael was already wearing. Yael was already dressing smart, sort of gender neutral, nothing totally saying I'm a girl or I'm a boy. To my recollection, there were only 2 times that we ever saw Yael dressed in something that screamed I'm female. That one time she went on a date with Baz, and that other time where she wore a dress to attempt doing makeup tutorials. And that fact is pretty awesome. Yael was well on the road to looking like themselves, but just needed just a few more changes in order to get there. And that moment where Yael is looking in the mirror, looking at their natural hair for the first time and seeing it as something, a part of them, not just something they have to deal with, that was really amazing. It's hard to express what it's like to suddenly see yourself in the mirror. The thing about our bodies is they're essentially randomly generated. We can't decide how we look, and depending on the luck of the draw, it can be difficult to form your body into reflecting who you are inside. And then suddenly seeing who you are inside reflected back at you, that truly is a moment worthy of tears. As always, it's important to look at many seasons in order to figure out how certain events in a particular season came to be. For the most part with Degrassi, nothing comes out of the blue. If we pay attention to each individual characters and even rewatch episodes if we have to, we can see them laying the groundwork for things to come. Very early on, we could see that there's not just something wrong with Esme, but Zig also noticed it as well. It didn't come to a head until season 4, but long before that, even in season 3, we were seeing that he knew not everything was right with her. Yael didn't just become genderqueer. They were long on that path already, and they finally realized it themselves that they're not a girl and they're not a boy, and that's okay. If they'd heard of being non-binary, they might have transitioned a lot sooner. They didn't feel the need to declare their non-girlhood until now because their biology wasn't affecting them nearly as much. It was such a gradual change over time, them being recognized as a girl, and them coming to realize just how that did not fit who they were. Their railing against female stereotypes isn't somehow diminished by coming out as genderqueer. They still feel that. And their coming out as non-binary doesn't mean that that's the right option for every girl who doesn't like makeup. You can like typically male activities and still think of yourself as a female. Thank you very much for consuming my video, and until next time.